everybody. Welcome to a special edition
Special?
of Gruber Wired.
Yes, it is. I'm John Dotson. Welcome once again.
We got our tinfoil hats.
Got our tinfoil house because we are talking what?
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theories from outer space. just a moment here. Oh, we're good.
Oh, I was muted.
Muted. Yeah, that's a good.
Hey, everybody, welcome to a special edition of Gruber Wired. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson. This seems repetitive.
Deja vu all over again.
Vu. Maybe these hats aren't working.
No. It's almost like in Star Trek Enterprise when they are working on that ship from the future and they keep going back in time.
I haven't seen
They
that episode.
leave the room
yeah.
and, you have to see it. It
could also be a glitch in the Matrix too, right? Deja vu.
Yeah, that's supposed to. Yeah, I don't see any black cats though.
No, haven't seen the cats, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the conspiracy theories, or some of the conspiracy theories that come along with.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Okay.
We don't have time to get all of them in.
Right. And this list was furnished today by our special coworker, Harry. Shout out to you, Harry.
Yes, Harry. Thank you. Thank you, Harry. But yeah, we're going to be talking about those UFOs that came on down to Earth, crash landed here, ended up in Area 51, and that's where it kind of begins in a lot of these stories. And it's just that technology that we were able to take and reverse engineer that we're able to become applicable today, today's society.
Sure.
And this all started, since the beginning of humanity, right? I mean, there's hieroglyphics out there that you go in these caves and you see these pictures that they had carved into stone of spaceships and entities and things like that.
Right.
And, is it a matter of we've been visited since then? I mean, has this been going on, or is it just simply we finally just reach a level of education where we can go, hey, by the way, now we understand how this works?
Or are there people that live in the center of the earth and, are... there's little, like in the Antarctic, there's like places where previous inhabitants of the planet, kind of evolved and live down there and don't make themselves known. They just kind of consume the resources. And
so they're still there today, right?
Yeah. Like Bigfoot,
Smurfs. Smurfs are not known, but they're there.
Right. Since we're being silly here, Cass has a joke.
Yeah, Cass, let's hear your joke.
Yeah. What's the best marching band in space?
Okay.
Yeah.
A Martian band.
Wow.
A Martian band.
I don't think this podcast is going to go as fast as last week's.
So, we got all sorts of stuff, and we talk about all the time. Aliens, they're here. They crash land on Earth. We've seen it through television, through movies, especially X-Files, right? They tapped right into this whole conspiracy theory and alien life and so forth.
Right. I mean, do you know that there are legends from the Phoenix area of a crash landed spacecraft?
Did you hear that? Is that with the lights we had a few years back?
No. So in the Dreamy Draw, there's the dam that goes across that is just in the middle of nowhere. That came from nowhere. That I remember growing up, and that was just the Dreamy Draw. There was no freeway right there.
Sure.
And there was this dam that was there that didn't make any sense. And you can look it up online, but my dad told me when I was little that it was to cover up a space crash. Now we're talking about in the 70s when my dad told me that, right?
Yeah.
And you look online and there's that going on. There's people who actually come out and they try and get in because there's an underground ingress point, and they've tried to get in before.
And it's just no access or what?
Yeah, right. That way they can't get in. But yeah, they said it was to conceal the crash site, and so like it skipped right there and ended up landing in like the Cave Creek Carefree area.
I'm going to have to research that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
No, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Did that have to do something with the Travis Walton abduction? Oh. I think they made a movie about it, like Fire in the Sky or something.
Was that here locally?
Yeah, well, I thought it was in like Strawberry or Heber. Overguard.
Yeah, I know there was one up in the Pines somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
but no, this is not that. This is Yeah, this is separate. Although, related fact to your story, one of the kids I was in high school with was in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, the one that was done back when I was in high school, not if there's
the
a more recent version. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a fun show. If you want to pull up picture number 1, we'll get started on some of this. And some of this you can go, wow, we've seen that picture before. But it is true. Fiber optic cables. I mean, they really came around and the technology is there, but it said it really took off in the late 20th century after the crash from Roswell.
Right.
That said, wow, we've started to take a look at what's going on, able to reverse this, and found better ways, more educated ways to, propel this light source.
It takes a long time to reverse engineer technology that you haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Right?
But hey, here we go. This is one of those conspiracy theories that this is really the mainstream of where fiber optic cabling came
And
from.
transistors, right? I mean, I know that's on the list, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is something that we're seeing used every day, and still we're seeing the value of these things increase as far as,
Or microchips.
data.
Yeah.
Data transmission, because now we're getting to the point of multiplexing with these.
Right.
So it just takes one little spark somewhere to say, wow, here's a fiber optic cable, here's the transmission speed with, OS1 to OM2, OM1, OM2, 3, 4. And now we're talking multiplexing with fiber optics, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's using multiple light waves within a single fiber to transmit individual data sets.
Yeah.
Right, data streams.
Yeah, but to where this came from in this conspiracy, I mean, I kind of understand it at the time just because of the education level, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, boom, here's an alien vehicle that crashed on Earth, and then all of a sudden we have this technology. I think it's more the fact that we just continue to educate. Bigger brains, right?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for anti-gravity. That's the holy grail
on
for
this
me.
topic list here. We're going to get into some of that
That's the
a little
holy
bit
grail
later.
for me right there. I know they use electromagnetic fields to do it. I've seen videos of it, but
So would that change how much you actually weigh?
no, that's a function of
take
gravity. But
yeah. See,
yeah.
think positive.
Now being on the moon, that would change how much you weigh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And if you get the picture number 2, so you have this fiber optics that just went nuts in what was around 1947 or so, and after that, where we see the explosion of how fiber has been able to come into force. And then the next thing we talk about is microchips.
Yeah.
This is a technology that a lot of people still don't understand, right? The layman person out there.
It's complicated.
Good way to put it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the minute electrical impulses that flow over that in sequences of ones and zeros, and
the digital code,
right?
That is inherent in these, and you're talking about lots of moving pieces to these. We think it's one thing, but at the end of the day, there can be just multiple millions of tiny components in these chips.
Right.
And so the chips come on and you get the electrical signal to come on to help, with the products that you're working on with these, whether it's a vehicle, cell phones. I mean, we use these chips now just everywhere.
Right. Right. And I mean, that's one of the things that we talk about now in the political world is, locating or relocating chip manufacturing, especially critical components, back to the U.S. That's TSMC is building.
I was
up
going to
north.
say that, especially here in the Phoenix area, because we're a great area in the sense that we don't have natural disasters, right? Our big issue is heat, and
that's not a problem.
No, it's not a problem for these particular types of plants. So what we've seen in the growth of semiconductor plants in our area is, like you said, Taiwan Semiconductors out here. We have Intel,
right?
And they're just going up. They're building some more plants, and every time they put in one of these plants, of course, we need the resources to be able to work with the plants. So we're also seeing those manufacturing jobs come into the valley as well.
Right. Which is in turn, and I'm sure that this has been discussed on EV podcast, but it's turning, the Phoenix area into kind of an EV mecca too.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, there's Texas, Elon moved to Texas, but We got our own nifty stuff here. We have Lucid motors, right? But there's a few that are.
There are. I don't know them all. I'll be honest, I don't. But there's a lot of activity going on, and it's all relevant and based around these semiconductors and microchips.
Right.
And this is something that is in all of the electronics that we use. I mean, you're not going to get away from them. There's definitely a need for more and more and more. But to say that these were reverse engineered coming out of a alien spacecraft, I don't know.
Right.
That's a conspiracy I have a hard time with. And again, I point back to our educational level. I just think over the years, it took us up to the point of the 20th century where we really started to understand the comprehension of all this technology.
Sure.
And then from there, it just compounds upon itself. And the more research we do, the more people that come along to do this research and this work, we open new doors.
Right. That's true.
So
That's true.
So yeah.
And we'll take your questions live if anybody's out there.
Are we questioning these
if
hats?
anybody's out there. Yeah.
But yeah, while we're sitting here, have you ever had an experience with what you thought was a UFO?
No.
I
wished I did. I remember when I was little, my parents, I don't know, I was in the house somewhere and they go, Mark, come out here. There's UFOs. and I'm like, what? And out in the distance, there's like all these lights.
Yeah.
Right? There's a line of them. Well, they ended up they were military choppers, and they were like, you didn't hear those fly over the house? I'm like, no, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So next product is something we've all used. If you want to pull up the next number 3 picture there, this one kind of got me a little bit because Velcro.
You know how that ended up on Earth, right?
No. How was that?
Yeah. Again, Enterprise, to Paul's great grandmother, she sold it to somebody to get money for a kid to be able to afford to go to college. So, yeah.
Interesting.
When the Vulcans crash landed.
They crash landed and
sold
the Velcro.
Yeah, they did.
Well, as reading here, it says the rapid popularization of Velcro in the 1960s led people to believe the design was inspired or derived from an extraterrestrial source.
I
guess, spooky. I'm curious. A lot of these theories seem to come around a time period when there was a lot of hallucinogenic drugs being used.
Yeah,
so it makes
acid
me wonder a little
trips
bit,
in the 60s.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But no, it's true. There was a lot of people in the movements out there that did say, "Hey, this material came from an extraterrestrial source." So I know I have a hard time with that one. It's
What was your first experience with Velcro?
My first experience with Velcro?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think, honestly. I think
mine
maybe
was a ripstop
shoes,
wallet.
right? A wallet? Oh, yes. Okay, I can see a wallet.
Yeah. When they first came out with those, that was my first experience with Velcro. I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Now he's moved on to shoes, so he doesn't have to lace them up anymore.
Not yet.
You're getting there, though.
I will be. Yeah.
Good old Velcro shoes.
That's when you know you've gone round the bend. You've hit that certain age.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, Velcro was engineered by a Swiss engineer, George de Mestral, who was inspired by natural sticking properties of burrs.
Okay.
So he understood natural sticking, burr, you get a burr in your hand or something like that. Oh, this kind of clings together.
Right.
And then came up with this concept and idea.
They call it a hook and loop.
Yep. Hook and loop. It's out there.
Yeah, and I believe that. Have you ever had burrs or pets? Yeah. Yeah. They're no fun.
No. No, to dig those out. Ugh.
Yep.
Number 4. Picture number 4. For all
Numero
you hunters
quattro.
out there, here's one. Night vision.
Bambi. Oh, no.
Dinner. Look at, he's got a look on his face like, hey, check me out.
And it keeps getting better night vision technology, too.
Yeah, it does. Again, this is actually invented during World War II by the Germans. Is really what started the whole night vision. And then the night vision was simply a scope that had some infrared reading on it.
Right.
So you could look out and you could see some heat signatures.
Right. It projected an infrared light that then was reflected back. envision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
so
now there's true low light
yeah,
stuff.
it's amazing the technology when it comes down to night vision technology and where it's came from. But again, the theory in this is again from extraterrestrial properties, primarily from the crash in Roswell.
Yeah.
That's where this conspiracy theory came from.
Okay.
So I know, right? I'm like, hey, okay.
Hey, John, it's your world. I'm just living in it.
Right. Hey, today is Harry's world.
Okay.
We should have named that buck Harry. So as you were just talking, one of the things you were talking about is picture number 5 is anti-gravity technology.
Yes.
Okay. This was the original design of Mr. Tesla himself.
Okay.
Working on an anti-gravity machine.
Right.
And basically the properties here is just using electrons, electricity to change the gravitational pull around it using magnetism.
Right.
I don't
There's some
think he
pretty
ever
cool-
got there, but I mean, the concept is there.
Well, there's some pretty cool videos where they super chill magnets,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can control it moving along the path, but it floats on the magnetic field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
But practically speaking, how do you make that work? And not only anti-gravity, but then artificial gravity.
Yeah.
Same kind of goes hand in hand, right? So,
I've often wondered in the space station, right? Why
Yeah.
don't they have artificial gravity?
because then their hair wouldn't look so funky.
Yeah. Right. I don't know why the application is, but honestly, you're in a situation where humans are living in space for a considerable amount of time.
Right.
Why not take a look at it? And my only thought process is because the facility is way too small to be able to acquire that.
Well, you have to
capability.
have something that spins
Yeah.
that creates the gravity.
You have the anti-rotation around it to
Right.
give it the gravity you
right,
need.
right. For now, anyway.
Yeah. Through
That's the-
concept.
Yeah, that's the concept right now.
Yeah.
But who knows in the future?
Yeah, but like it says here, perhaps one of the most popular rumored alien-derived technologies is this right here that we're taking a look at. Some speculate that these systems allow for fast, silent, and sudden maneuvers and beyond current human capabilities for space vehicles.
Well, we've seen the videos that they did release. That one encounter, the Tic Tac, that was flipping
Mhm.
and going really fast. There's been craft go into the water, right, and then come
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
But how much of that is somebody just kind of playing around, having some fun?
I think some of it's real.
You do?
Yeah. I think that what the source of the technology is, I don't know, but I think it exists.
Yeah. It might be. Like it says here in summary, no one has invented anti-gravity technology as of yet, but is commonly understood in science fiction.
Right. Well,
And
they
that's
have.
where it
I mean,
kinda
there's
has
actually a
to live.
hoverboard. They've made the Back to the Future hoverboard.
Yeah, but they're
Has
using
to be
magnetism versus
Right.
Yeah, you can do it using magnetism. We know that you can find hovering capabilities,
Right.
things that nature. But true anti-gravity in order to propel a vehicle, that's a little bit
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's something in properties in the air, the electricity in the air that or something that we're not tapping into that
Could very well
creates that ability, because Tesla would he did all of his electricity experiments and he used air transmission of electricity.
be. Yeah, that's what he did. Always use that
Right.
as his main concourse.
Right. And so he all his work was confiscated and all that
Sure it was.
conveniently by some alphabet agency. But the idea, that, and I've seen it happen. I've seen it work.
Yeah.
I know a guy who built it was just a regular board, and it had a light bulb on one end and a switch on the other, and no wires between them. And he had power to the switch, and I forget how he did it, but when you turn it on, the light bulb would light.
Okay.
And I mean, seriously, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a reality. Just how he did it, I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, we're hoping that maybe in the future they will be able to discover these properties and actually find a way to make this work.
Right.
Once they do, then that's going to change the reality of where traveling can go, let's say, in outer space, away from the Earth,
Yeah.
and what we can, come up with. So,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's propulsion, which is going to be different than anti-gravity, but
well,
yeah.
it's going to be part of that system. It has to be a
Yeah.
part of that system. And it's just, from the concepts that they have in play.
Gotcha.
Number 6, this is something that we're used to and we do use in our industry quite often. And that's laser technology. And I think the best example of this is, what space movie have we not seen that has lasers in it? I mean,
Right.
it's just a pre-concept out there that laser technology belongs in space.
Right.
But this is something that we here developed on Earth. It's not something that came from a spaceship in outer space or from that, but we use lasers in everything we do, seems anymore, every day, almost a
Right.
daily use. In our world, it's fiber optics, right? We're using laser lights to transmit that light speed,
Okay.
that light through
Are
the
we?
fiber.
Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
I don't know. But lasers in general, I mean, everything's from a simple laser level where, if they're out surveying and they use lasers now to get level lines, or even in a house, right, where they do laser leveling.
Yeah.
To using lasers to
Well, surgical procedures.
shoot down missiles.
Yeah, we've seen that in the Iron Dome,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what's going on around the world right now.
Right. They've got these high particle or high intensity lasers on ships now.
Yeah.
That target and destroy missiles.
But the concept is that these all, again, came from and originated from an alien species and brought here to Earth.
Yeah.
So, but we, like I said, use these for everything. And like I was saying, surgical procedures, they're using laser a lot more.
Right.
We use lasers here in our machine shop to cut out our metal products.
Sure. We do laser etching.
Yeah.
And, there's all kinds of neat stuff that can be done with low power and high power.
Yeah, it's really cool you mentioned the laser etching, because we're turning out some really nice logos over there in the shop.
Right. Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Just with the use of a laser. And it's pretty cool because when you go to these machines, you take a look at it, it's cutting the material away from the metal, slab
Sure.
that's on.
Yep.
But if you run your hand underneath it, nothing.
I wouldn't do that too many times.
No, but it's crazy though. It'll take care of that, but you put your hand underneath it for whatever reason and nothing. Just almost like, the table saws. Once your finger hits, the blade cuts down.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I would assume it would just cut through your hand.
Yeah. It's actually burnt. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the technical side of how it etches, but
Yeah, it's interesting.
yeah.
though. But yeah, we can create some really great logos for you.
Yeah, we do. And we do.
Yeah, we got some good
White
stuff
label
out there.
a lot of stuff.
Number 7, picture number 7. Here's one. It's just crazy idea, and that's 0-point energy. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yeah. Well, here's a basic diagram to show you kind of what's going on there. All energy is removed, but random electromagnetic waves still remain within a secluded area. So they're saying that you have these waves which will constantly be in motion, and you can contain it to one particular area, so there's a constant flow of continuous motion. So you always have a 0-point energy that you have it contained. Now, the problem with this theory is within this vacuum is it's at a very small scale. So we know it's there. We know they can do it, but it's just not at the point where it does much of anything at all.
So what it does is it hits both metal plates with energy, and there's energy in between that doesn't have a source.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's left there in motion. So it's pretty cool stuff as I was taking a look at it. And again, the concept is linked to extraterrestrial technology because it claims that aliens mastered energy manipulation techniques like this far beyond, human science. So, hey, we got some people out there TikTok saying hello. Is that Rayon? Is that how it's pronounced? Rayon says, how are you? Hey, we're doing great. Appreciate you joining.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, look
And
at that.
they use lasers to remove hair.
Yeah, very true, don't they?
Yeah.
No, it's cool. There's lots
Yeah,
of
that's
laser
very
technology.
effective.
You know, I just think that laser removal for your hair comes from outer space.
Man, how long did it take for them to get rid of all your hair?
Not long, you see.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
see? Put my hat back on. So yeah, the 0 point energy thing, though, this is something that they continue to work on. And well, it's hopefully that they can come up with something that is on
useful
a
thing for
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But like I said, right now they can do it, but only at such a minute scale that there's really no use for it.
Okay.
So, number 8, we're going to get into memory metal, and you can see here. This is just a common picture of where I think everybody knows what a slinky is, right? Or
Yeah.
most people do. But again, they consider this shape-shifting metal, right?
Okay.
It goes from one shape to another. And a good example of it is the slinky, because you're going from a cylinder shape, and then it, as it goes out, you get a rainbow effect of that, and then it increases back to itself.
Right.
But they're saying again that a lot of UFO technology uses this type of memory shaped metal shifting. So going from the nature of one vehicle to another. So yeah, but we can see that this has been in use, and we actually use this in many different ways. Springs is another thing comes to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about a specific kind of metal that goes back into shape.
Yeah.
After it's manipulated, it will reshape itself back
Correct.
the way it was. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's some interesting things out there. I forget the name of that particular metal. Does it say on here?
Yeah. Nitinol.
The nitinol?
Nitinol.
But the same concept is kind of here. That's why we use the slinky as a representation of what's going on, because it's a matter of taking one property, changing it into another, and then being able to put it back into the original property state that it was.
Right. Right. Yeah. It'd be nice to make cars out of that.
I know, right?
Somebody opens their door into your car and you get a dent.
Yeah, that just pops back out and off you go.
There you go.
That'd be great. Let's get to number 9. This is something we're all going to be familiar with. That's basically cloaking or stealth technology. You
Right.
know?
And it's, basically reflecting, radar reflecting material so that it's not invisible to the eye, but it is invisible to radar.
Yeah.
However, they're making ways of bending light so that to the naked eye, something would be invisible.
Yeah, we've seen that before on the show when we played the gentleman that had that cloak,
Yeah.
which basically bent the light around him to understand, and you can see the visibility through the person with the
Right.
cloak to see what's in the background.
Right.
So this technologies are coming along out there. Now, of course, I could see where somebody say cloaking stealth technology came from UFOs. I completely understand why they get that concept, why that comes through. But it's one of those things, again, humanity, we engineered this. We came up with the concepts just because, again, of education and understanding.
Sure. And, I mean, who knows how it all gets here? I mean, it could be, time travelers who have a future time and come back and do stuff,
It's up in the air. I mean, keep putting those theories out there.
There you
But I
go.
got to tell you, taking a look at this, okay?
Yep.
Back in the 1960s,
If
if
you
this
saw
thing
that,
crash landed or you saw this up in the sky,
yeah.
you're thinking UFO just
Yeah.
by the look of the nature of this, right? We don't know what this is in our eyes, but let's say that we were working on this technology back then. Let's say this is what crashed out there in the desert, right?
Yeah.
So I could see where people come up with these theories and understand these concepts of being something that's extraterrestrial, but more than likely, it's probably something like the B-2 bomber that we were working on and studying and test flying. And
Sure. And that's why they call them UAPs now
Yeah.
instead, because they, don't necessarily attribute any kind of terrestrial source to it or extraterrestrial source. It's unidentified. It's just a simple, we don't know what it is.
yeah, exactly.
Unlike the little Chinese balloon that floated over America, right? We knew where that was.
Yeah, that we did. So put up the original background of the spaceship, if you would. We'll leave them with this one today. So we go from our B-2 bomber to, an actual picture of an extraterrestrial out there, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So there we go. Look at that.
Bird of prey.
Yep, Klingon bird of prey. There she is. If you happen to recognize this in the night sky, run. Right?
There you go. And
Wow.
so we complete it, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes we just don't know where these shows are going to go, and they're a little bit fun. We do lots of different things, hit some different topics.
I'm always along for the ride.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. Don't forget, we have a really fun Halloween special coming up.
We do.
So on Halloween Day, it happens to be Thursday this year,
Yeah.
we're going to have a little bit of fun.
Yes,
so hope
we
you
are.
join us for that.
Absolutely.
So
We're gonna do some good stuff. And we're
Yeah.
gonna do a Thanksgiving special the day before Thanksgiving,
Yep.
and we're gonna be doing some stuff. So we're glad to have you here. Just remember, we're here every Thursday at 3:00 Arizona time. Time zone's gonna change in November, I think, so we're safe until then. But yeah,
we're always
just-
safe. We don't change.
Yeah, no. Where Arizona time never changes.
We are.
But yeah, we appreciate you being here. So for now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and live long and prosper.